The school courtyard buzzed like a hive as students rushed from class to class, but amid the noise was a strange silence around one girl walking through the gate for the first time. Her name was Isla Kingston, quiet, composed, with a confidence that didn't need to be loud. Her steps were steady, like she carried a secret no one else knew. She wore a simple backpack, kept her hair tied back, and scanned the campus like someone who had seen far worse than school hallways. She didn't know that today she would become the center of the school's biggest storm. Across the courtyard stood Bren Carter, the school's infamous bully, the kind who didn't pick fights because he was strong but because people let him believe he was. His father was a police sergeant, and Bren used that fact the way other kids used pencils every hour of the day. He pushed through crowds, ordering kids to move like he owned the place. When he saw Isla not stepping aside, his nose wrinkled. No one had ignored him before. No one had walked straight, eyes forward, as if he wasn't even there. "What's this?" Bren muttered, stepping in front of her. "New girl thinks the rules don't apply to her? Move." Isla didn't slow. She shifted slightly, just enough to walk past him without making unnecessary contact. Bren's face turned red. "Hey! I said move." He shoved her backpack hard. Isla stumbled, but regained her balance with the calm of someone who'd been trained to never show fear. She turned her head slightly, just enough for her voice to reach him. "You should stop," she said softly. "Before you do something you can't undo." That sentence alone felt like an insult to Bren's oversized ego. Students froze. They had seen Bren hit kids for less. "You threatening me?" Bren barked. "No," Isla replied. "I'm warning you." Bren wasn't used to warnings. Only people with power gave warnings. He smirked, grabbed her wrist, and raised his other hand like he wanted to slap the calm off her face. Isla reacted instantly. Her hand twisted, her body shifted, and in one fluid motion, Bren found himself on his knees with his arm pinned behind his back. The courtyard gasped. It lasted only 2 seconds, but it was enough for Bren's pride to shatter like glass hitting concrete. You attacked me," he yelled as he scrambled up. "You're done. Done." He snatched his phone, dialing with shaking fingers. "Dad. Get over here. Bring your unit. I need her handcuffed. Now." The students whispered in shock. The new girl? Arrested on her first day? Bren grinned as he ended the call, thinking he'd already won. Isla simply picked up her bag, dusted it off, and sat at a nearby bench, as if awaiting the inevitable. She didn't run. She didn't cry. She didn't even look bothered. 15 minutes later, sirens howled outside the school. 3 patrol cars rolled in. Bren puffed up his chest like he personally led the operation. "Right here. She assaulted me," he shouted. Sergeant Blake Carter, Bren's father, stepped out, full of authority and attitude. "Which one?" Bren pointed. "Her. The new girl." The officers approached Isla, who stood calmly with her hands folded in front of her. One officer gestured to cuff her. "Name," the sergeant demanded. "Isla Kingston." The moment she said it, 2 officers froze. The sergeant's expression changed instantly. His eyes widened, and his voice cracked. "Kingston? As in Judge Kingston?" Isla nodded once. Sergeant Carter's entire posture collapsed. Judge Kingston wasn't just any judge. He was the highest-ranking judiciary official in the district, known for being ruthless against corruption, abuse of authority, and misuse of police power. "Ma'am," the sergeant whispered, suddenly standing straighter. We didn't know." Isla raised a hand, stopping him mid-sentence. "You came because your son called you," she said evenly. "I didn't ask for special treatment. Just do what you came to do." The sergeant swallowed hard. His career flashed before his eyes. If he arrested her unfairly, he was done. If he ignored Bren's lie, Bren would accuse him of favoritism. He was trapped. Isla stepped closer. "Or," she continued, "you can listen to the security cameras." The sergeant blinked. "Cameras?" Isla nodded toward the courtyard's corners. 4. Full view. Audio included. Bren's face drained of color. Within minutes, an officer replayed the footage on a school tablet. A crowd formed. Silence filled the air as everyone watched Bren shove her, threaten her, and attempt to strike her before she defended herself. "Sir," the officer said carefully. The girl acted in self-defense. The sergeant slowly turned toward Bren. "You lied to get me to arrest someone innocent," he roared. Bren stammered. "Dad, I mean, she'd known enough," the sergeant barked. "You're grounded for months. And you're apologizing to her. Now." Bren's voice broke. "I'm not apologizing to Do. You want jail time for false reporting," his father thundered. The courtyard fell silent. Bren, shaking, turned to Isla. I'm sorry." Isla didn't smile. Didn't gloat. "I hope you learned something from this," she said simply, but this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The school had no idea who Isla really was or why she had joined this school in the first place, and by the time they found out, everything would change. The next day, the entire school buzzed with rumors. Some said Isla was secretly trained by the FBI. Others claimed she was a martial arts prodigy. A few said she was here under witness protection. But Isla moved through the hallways calmly, ignoring every whisper. She wasn't here for attention. She wasn't here to show power. She was here because her father wanted her to understand the real world, the world he judged every day in court. Principal Harris called Isla to his office. He straightened his tie nervously as she sat down. I want to formally apologize for yesterday, he said. We take bullying very seriously, Isla interrupted softly. If you took it seriously, Bren wouldn't have been allowed to bully kids for 2 years. The principal froze. No student had spoken to him like that. But she was right. Isla leaned forward slightly. I'm not here to cause trouble, sir. I'm here because my father believes justice must be learned, not told. Her voice held weight, maturity, and calm authority. Principal Harris realized she wasn't an ordinary student. She was someone raised in the shadow of law, discipline, and truth. Later that afternoon, Bren sat alone in class, humiliated. His friends abandoned him. His reputation had shattered. When Isla entered, he avoided her gaze, his face burning with shame. To his surprise, Isla walked toward him, not aggressively, not arrogantly, but with purpose. Can we talk? She asked. Bren nodded weakly. She pulled up a chair. Yesterday wasn't about winning, she said. You're not my enemy, Bren. You're someone who's been allowed to act without consequences. Bren's eyes lowered. No one had ever spoken to him like that, not as a bully, but as a broken kid pretending to be strong. Why didn't you let them arrest me? He whispered. Isla smiled softly. Because justice is not revenge. It's learning the difference between right and wrong, so you don't repeat the same mistakes. Bren swallowed hard. Are you going to tell your dad to punish me? No, she said. But you will. By becoming better. Bren nodded, tears forming, but he wiped them away quickly. Embarrassed, Isla stood. Everyone deserves a chance to change. From that day on, Bren wasn't the same. He didn't bully anyone. He apologized to kids he'd hurt. He even defended a shy student in the hallway. People laughed at him at first, thinking he was pretending, but Isla smiled each time she saw him try, and slowly, he changed, not because he feared punishment, but because someone believed he could. By the end of the month, Isla became the most respected student in the school, not because she was the judge's daughter, but because she brought justice where there was none, discipline where there was chaos, and hope where there was fear. And every time she walked through the courtyard, students straightened, not out of fear, but out of admiration. She didn't rule with strength, she ruled with fairness, because justice wasn't just in her blood, it was in her soul.